So I'm actually filming this for the second time. I'm actually kind of upset about that because yesterday's look was a 70s iconic. I want to put it up on the screen. It was, I really went over like the shit that I used and I was just so happy about it. So I do feel, you know, like I really missed out on an opportunity there to have an iconic look. But I feel like this is, you know, equally, this maybe isn't 70s, but like maybe like 80s, 90s vibes. Anyway, I love my eyeshadow. It goes from pink. You can see it right there. It goes from hot pink to orange. Pat McGrath did it, but also for the mattes I used the same palette that I used yesterday from an indie brand, and I just want you guys to appreciate the blend of that. Like, I didn't use any Pat McGrath matte shadows today. I used this one, this mustardy yellow. It looks orange in the camera, but that's mustard. This like corally orange, and then this beautiful like mauvey cool toned, which seems weird to like match up this cool toned shade with like these bad boys, but like it worked. And yesterday I used this bad boy, and I just want you guys to she feels so smooth. Like, have you guys ever seen a pastel purple perform this way? Because I sure haven't, and it blended like a dream. Why did that stop on my bone? I have like this bone sticking out, and there is just a patch of where the bone didn't catch. Any eyeshadow, here we go. It's such an even pigmentation. I put it all over my eyes yesterday and it was a look. So I'm upset that I didn't get to show it to you guys because I just stopped midway through recording because I had to go somewhere. And I already mentioned in a different video that these guys sent both of these products to me in PR, so I'm not even gonna be like, oh, I bought this, because I didn't. But the highlight I'm wearing on my cheeks today is these cheeks, not these cheeks. Is this one right here. In my video that was supposed to, you know, be this video, but it wasn't, I used this one, which is just like the average champagne. These two are more on the smoother side. These ones are more foiled. So this one just looks absolutely stunning. Like, can we talk about that? Can we talk about this? Then we have purple, which I love me a good purple. I know people are like not into the colored highlights. I love when there's like some weird funky shade going on my eyes, but it has, on my cheeks, but it has to be undetectable from the front, and then when I turn you're like, badam, what is that? It's purple, it's green, it's blue. But I'm also very fair. And then let me just show you guys these two bottom shades because they're also stunning. This is like a rose gold, this one, which is just one of my favorites. I know this is an anti-haul, but I'm just showing you guys things that I'm actually excited about before I go and rip to shreds your favorite brands. This is beautiful. It just is stunning on the face. And then this is the one I'm wearing today, iconic, yellow gold, we stan. And I actually have a few like things to show you guys. Look at that. It's what I'm wearing on my face, and it's not too dark for me, which I am so happy about, because sometimes yellow gold has a tendency of just looking really bad on me. But you can see it just looks nice and healthy, but like it's got that nice like yellow goldness to it, which is very like summertime vibes, which the summer is coming back to the UK in full force. We had the summer in like May, and then it just went away and we had like 15-degree weather with just straight rain, and now we're back into the Spanish weather. So I'm wearing my yellow highlight, but I just wanted to show you guys the yellow gold as well. I want to show you. So this is the yellow gold from Odin's Eye, and then this is my trusted and loved Pat McGrath palette. I'm so into highlighter palettes lately, which I'll get into further in the video because I have a few face palettes to show you guys that I'm not into. There are some face palettes that I'm like, this is what I want, and then there are some face palettes where I'm like, get this out of my face. And then this is the iconic middle shade that everyone talks about from Pat McGrath. Tell me those aren't very similar. The Odin's Eye indie brand runs a little more white. This one runs a little more yellow. However, like, of course, Pat McGrath, super finely milled, but also it's Pat McGrath. But if you're looking at shade comparisons on my face, that's gonna look identical. They're cruelty-free, and all the powder products are vegan. I feel like this sounds like a sponsorship. It's really not. I just really was excited about receiving my first bit of like non-YouTuber related PR. And it's what I'm wearing on my face, and it's what I'm excited about wearing. And these eyeshadows are great. Odin's Eye makes such stunning matte eyeshadows. This is the only palette I have, but I'm so intrigued by what they're gonna release. Because I mean, if you look at some of these shades, that's an indie brand. It's indie. It's not, you know, huge $1 million company, but it's managing to put out incredible formulas. These formulas remind me of Anastasia Beverly Hills. I still haven't used some of these, so look at that. Anyway, so we have some Fenty coming up, which, you know, I love me some Fenty. I'm leaving space here for the pictures. So Fenty is releasing glossy like lipsticks, and I have way too many lipsticks at this point. Like, I'm seeing the swatches. I do follow Fenty on Instagram. I'm seeing the swatches and I'm seeing how absolutely stunning those swatches are, but I just cannot get myself to do it right now unless I'm like head over heels in love with something that I see to do with my lips on Instagram. I'm not getting it. Next thing, so Manny MUA released this blush palette for $35. It's got 6 shades, 5 mattes, 1 shimmery. He also is releasing 3 glosses, $17 each. Apparently the lip glosses are absolutely stunning and to die for. But like I said, I have a lot of lip glosses that I am in love with. But I heard they were stunning and I do want to try them out one day. But right now I'm trying to work through at least one lip gloss. Like, I will buy a lip gloss when I use up a lip gloss. That's the plan, but I know I won't stick to it because I am a shopaholic. But this blush palette, I love the aesthetic. I love the colors that he picked. However, if a brand releases a palette, it has to be for light, medium, deep skin tones. Like, as in like 3 different palettes, for example, 2 different palettes, like light or dark. I like the Odin's Eye one because it's specific for me. Like, all those shades work on me. They don't leave a cast, and that's what I want. With most highlighter palettes, there are like super light stark white shades, and then there are like super bronzy shades that clearly are not for the same skin tone. And if you buy the palette, at least half of it or like a third of it is just going to be wasted. So at this point I'm trying to buy more curated face palettes that kind of just go with my skin tone rather than go with everyone's skin tone. So I'm hoping for more brands coming out with multiple face palettes, not different skin shades in one palette, but just multiple different face palettes. So like, I wish Manny had come out with maybe duos. I would have been so into a duo vibe, and maybe do it like 1 matte, 1 shimmery. So instead of 5 mattes, 1 shimmery in 1 palette, right? He could have done like Cover FX when they did the 1 matte, 1 shimmery, and I think that would have been more of my vibe. But that's not, you know, it's not my brand, not my aesthetic. And I just think I wouldn't be able to use the 2 deepest shades in here, and I feel like people that can use the 2 deepest shades wouldn't be able to use the 2 lighter shades. I'm just not into it. But the glosses are tempting me. BH Cosmetics is coming out with 2 palettes. I love the inside. I love the colors used on the inside. The Mimosa one is like hot pink, neon orange vibes, and the avocado toast reminds me of kind of a Melt Cosmetics vibe. It's the color scheme that I would expect Melt Cosmetics to come out with, but the outside packaging is something that I'm not personally a big fan of. And I know like outside packaging shouldn't be that important, but when I buy something, I want it to be like a full experience, because I am a very visual person. So if I see something in my drawer that just doesn't look great on the outside, there is a very low chance of me picking it up. And yeah, I just wish the outside packaging was a little less cringe. I don't know if cringe is the right word to use it. I mean, it just looks a little bit like Claire's makeup. Then they also came out with 2 face palettes. And like I said, this is just not something that I'm into, and I'll explain why. With the blush palette, there are some super light shades, like the top left, incredibly light. Like, even on me, half the time that wouldn't show up, and I am paste. But then there are some of those deeper shades, like middle top or bottom right, that like even on me would start pushing a little clowny. So I feel like what is the target demographic with that palette? Like, who is it? Is it deep skin tones? Is it lighter skin tones? Is it medium skin tones? What is it? And I do understand that you can mix 2 shades and make a custom shade. Actually, at that point, you might as well just blend it all together into one blush and just buy one blush that you really, really like. And then I have more of a problem with the bronzer highlighter palette. First of all, why would you put bronzer and highlight into one palette but have blush separate? I feel like bronzer and highlight are on 2 different spectrums of like shades. Usually your bronzer is way darker than your highlighter is, so I just think there's a lot of mixing and matching there where it would just start to look muddy. But also, those bronzers are for people up to like a medium skin tone, right? Like, that deepest bronzer shade is just not deep enough to like bronze anyone above a medium. Whereas those highlights go up to like a dark skin tone, because that bronzy shade on the right, it's pretty dark of a highlight. So I'm just not sure who the target demographic is with that palette either. So these, I think, could have been curated a little bit better. With face palettes, I'm always looking at like, what's the deepest shade in that palette? What's the lightest shade? Who is this aimed at? Is this aimed at me, or is this aimed at someone who is a completely different skin tone to me? And this seems to be aimed at everyone and no one at the same time. I just want more curated palettes. I want more trios and duos than anything. Why are we having 6 pans? When would you ever need 3 different bronzer shades unless you tan from this to medium shade over one summer holiday? I don't see why you would ever need 3 drastically different bronzer shades and 3 drastically different highlighter shades unless you're a professional makeup artist. And I don't think if you're a professional makeup artist, you're buying a Belgian waffle BH Cosmetics palette. Then these dewy set, I had one of these in my basket. I think I had the pineapple one because I'm thinking like summer holiday vibes, pineapples. I have the original dewy set in the bottle and I loved it for a little while, and then I realized the spray is actually quite shit on it. And this is way too dewy and oily for the spray to be that shit I don't know if it was just because it was coming towards the end. Maybe, you know, when like setting sprays come towards the end, they get a little like spitty. So it was a little spitty. It was leaving like dots, and because it's so oily, it really takes the makeup off like straight away. Towards the end, it was just pissing me off. It was more of a hassle to finish off than like a pleasure. And with setting sprays, I like it to be like a very pleasurable experience of, you know, finishing everything off. So if you guys are looking for a dewy setting spray that is a super fine mist, but it makes your face super nicely dewy, not sweaty, not greasy, but just beautifully dewy, and it refreshes your makeup during the day. And you can actually spray it once you've already got mascara and everything on it, and it won't smudge anything. It's got a bit of a, like a strong scent. It smells kind of like hairspray. It's this baby. Since doing my Fenty video, I'm gonna check the date on that. I've used up this much, and it's because I cannot stop once I start spraying. Like once I start spraying, there's gonna be at least 6 sprays going, like at least. But look at this mist. Did you hear that? That was the sound of heaven. I love every second of it. I finish off all my makeup with this, and then I actually, if I have space, I carry this with me, and during the day I'll just be doing a little, you know. It's not super cheap, but it's also not super expensive. It's not like my Hourglass one, which was originally £57. No, £47, still expensive. This was, I think, 34. So I got sucked into the packaging because there's pineapples on the bottle, and I also got sucked into the potential of it smelling beautifully. And what ended up happening is I put it into my basket, and I said, why are you doing this? It's a mini spray. You're paying £15 for something that's going to last you maybe a month. You don't travel, because none of us are traveling right now. And if we are traveling, I have a few like setting spray small bottles, like the Urban Decay travel size ones, where I just pour setting spray into that. Huda Beauty is coming out with a Clean Genie cleansing butter, which is basically a part of the 2-step cleansing routine, which is what I've been doing because I've been watching a lot of skincare videos, and apparently that's what you're supposed to do. So I use the Drunk Elephant one, where you take a little bit, you put on dry hands, dry face, and then you start like massaging in, and you see like it all melting away, and then you add a little bit of water, it starts to emulsify, which means like start foaming up, and then you wipe it off, and then you do a second cleanse, which is a water-based cleanse. So you do oil cleanse, water cleanse, and then you continue with your skincare routine. Mainly if you wear a lot of makeup, then you should be doing that. However, I just don't trust this. If this is anything more than £28, I just don't believe in it. I think a skincare brand is going to have a much better formula than Huda Beauty, who makes overly fragranced, perfumey products as it is. And I just don't trust it with skincare, sorry. MAC. Let's have a word, MAC, because they're coming out with mini sprays just like Anastasia Beverly Hills, and they're around the same price. Well, no, Anastasia Beverly Hills is 15 for 30ml, and these are 13 for 30ml, so they're a little bit cheaper, but I think they're originally cheaper as well, like the big sizes. They're coming out with this, which you would think, considering the month that it is. Happy Pride Month, by the way, guys. I love every single one of you. Considering that this is supposed to be Pride Month, right? They're releasing this during Pride Month, and they are releasing it in a rainbow aesthetic. I haven't seen a single word, murmur, like whisper, that this is like being donated to any form of LGBT charities or any foundations. So yeah, for example, on Trend Mood, it said, another look at the full collection, new Fix Plus with a rainbow, the Fix Plus Vibes collection by MAC Cosmetics, a tribute to freedom, individuality, and self-fulfillment. Yada, yada, yada. But no word on where this is going. Maybe since then it's been updated. So guys, let me know if you know where this money is going, where the profits from these are going. But if they're just using this to like make people think that they're doing things for the LGBT community while not doing anything for the community, I'm kind of sick and tired of these rainbow releases. Morphe came out with like a rainbow glitter palette, and I was like, NYX is coming out with multiple palettes. So they're coming out with 2 big palettes. One's called Ultimate Utopia, one's called Escape Artist, and then there's smaller ones, like smaller versions of those palettes, and then smaller versions of those palettes, if you know what I mean. I think you could have just cut out the big one. You guys know how I feel about big palettes, and I think that NYX Ultimate Utopia one is going to be about this big, and I just don't want it. I like the one under the Utopia one, the small one under Utopia, because I think it's got some of those nice shades that are in the top one, like those nice pinky corals, those nice like greens. I like the bottom one as well, the Ultimate Edit. These aren't really, I've never tried NYX eyeshadow formulas, so I don't really know what to think about these, but they look nice. I just would never buy such a huge palette again. Goss makeup artist, so Wayne Goss is coming out with 3 makeup brushes, which they look fantastic. They're supposed to be kind of inspired by calligraphy and calligraphy brushes, which is super cool. And I was like, wow, I'm ready to like splurge on this, because there's one like eyeshadow brush I can see in there. One could be used for highlight, like the middle one, like a nice highlight, and then the other one could be like a contour, maybe like a little bit of setting. They're $175 for 3 brushes. I just don't want to take part in that. Kaleidos Makeup is coming out with the Escape eyeshadow palette, which is super colourful, super beautiful. Then they're coming out with new highlights, and I heard great things about those highlighters. I am this close to buying highlighters from Kaleidos. However, it's an American website, it's an American indie brand. Shipping is going to be astronomical because it is an indie brand. So if I don't spend a lot of money, there's probably no chance for me getting free shipping, and there's just not enough that I want to buy. I'm trying to very much like curate my shopping baskets now. For example, like, oh, spend $70 for free shipping, and I only want like $30 worth of product. I'm not going to get extra $40 because I'm going to force myself to buy products that I don't want. And I just cannot justify spending like a load of shipping on like one highlighter. Then I have a bone to pick with Revolution. They're coming out with these Viva La Revolution Summer Festival palettes. Coming out with 4: green, yellow, orange, pink in neons. Now, what do they remind you guys of? I'll give you a few minutes. Right, these Huda eyeshadow palettes. They added an extra green to be like crazy. The thing is, even that yellow palette looks identical to the Huda one. They've got those like yellow vibes and then just one pink shade, which is exactly what Huda did. Then those purpley pinky vibes, those orangey vibes, orangey pinky vibes. They added a green and thought they were doing God's work. I'm done. I'm just sick and tired of Revolution just feeling like they can steal stuff from people. I bet it's legal because I bet there's no like way to trademark neon palettes, but they even did the packaging the same. They did that same like translucent neon packaging. I just don't like it. I don't like to look at something and be like, oh my god, those Huda palettes, and then they're not. Essence is coming out with bee related products. Now, I was gonna go really hard on this, but the proceeds of this, or like at least bits of the proceeds, are going towards like saving bees, and we want to save bees because they save us. So if you guys want to buy anything, just know that that's going to a very good cause. The only thing I was gonna roast is that palette. First of all, face and eye palettes, I don't want them together. I don't want a palette that is both a face and an eye palette. I don't do enough traveling to even justify that kind of a purchase, because I know a lot of people are like, well, if I travel and I only have a little bit of suitcase space and I only have enough for one palette and one palette only. So you have like 2 highlights in there, I think, and like a few eyeshadows. There's so much wasted space. So much wasted space. Can we please just go back to square or circle pans that fill out as much as possible from the palette? Yeah, thanks. Beauty Bay has its own like sector of makeup, so it's got like its own makeup line, and they're releasing these pastel palettes, and I really wanted this. It's out of stock right now, which is probably good for my bank account. It's only £10, which is great. However, I'm offended because Beauty Bay is a British brand, right? So they should be like repping the British people. However, this palette is £10, but it's also $10, which makes no sense because that should be about $15, right? If you look at conversions. Why are we getting scammed? I want to know. Obviously, scam is being used loosely here. No one's getting scammed. They can set the prices whatever they want, but I'm still kind of upset about it. Anyway, I've been debating on this one. I want to know I want to watch a few videos on what these shades look like, because I know pastels can be a little chalky if not done right. I love the Odin's Eye purple. It's got like a nice base to it where it's more creamy than anything, and these could look a little chalky. Then Dior is releasing these quints, I guess, because they're not quads, they're quints of different eyeshadows. There's not really many mattes. They've got maybe like 1 or 2 mattes per quint. These look absolutely stunning. I love that bronzy shade top right corner. I love the pinky bottom right corner. I like the black with the champagne-y. That's like so glam. Like, I just can't. Sorry, I know these are going to be probably like £50. They're going to be like Charlotte Tilbury prices, and I just can't get myself to do it because I think the quality is not going to be anything better than most of the eyeshadow palettes that I've tried now and love. Huda Beauty is coming out with another one of her setting sprays. I know she has the one in the black packaging, which is supposed to be exactly like hairspray pretty much. People say like the scent on it is essentially like super strong. You choke while spraying on your face, but it holds your makeup in place for the whole day. This is going to be the Glow Coco Hydrating Mist, which is a milky spray infused with coconut oil, coconut milk, and coconut water that instantly hydrates while it primes, sets, and refreshes your skin for a super glowy and dewy finish. Now, this is probably going to smell like perfumery. Is that what they're called? Like places where they sell perfumes. But also, a lot of people have skin issues regarding coconut oil. I think if it was just coconut milk and coconut water, that would have been fine. But I know coconut oil is super thick and it clogs your pores. So no, thank you. Hiram would be so proud of us for passing on this. Then Charlotte Tilbury's coming out with her Magic Cream Light, which is a light version of her Magic Cream. And it's SPF 20, which isn't a lot. I think the least I want to go for is like SPF 30, considering my skin tone. And it's $100 for 50 mils. I'm not going to speak because you guys know my opinion on that. Coca-Cola and Morphe are coming together to create this very basic palette. I don't understand. I don't. So top row is a bunch of useless shades. They could have kept about 2 of them. The one completely to the left and the one completely to the right, and that would have been enough, like from the top row. The second row down, why is there a random blue there? I get it, Coca-Cola, blue, but like no. Then there's reds. I don't understand the reds. I don't understand the brown Coca-Cola, red bottle. There's a silver in the corner for, I guess, the can opener, but like, okay. And then the bottom row also could have been completely cut down to the silver, and maybe one of the browns, one of the deeper browns, like top, like bottom right. I don't know. I feel like this palette could have been a £9 palette. Right, they've recently started coming out with £9 palettes. I think this could have been it. It is only $22, which obviously is like Morphe prices are very cheap, but I just don't trust Morphe quality of the eyeshadows after trying out my James Charles palette and it being chalky. I'm sorry, James, we've been on very good terms lately, but it's not like a James problem, it's just a Morphe problem, you know? I just don't like Morphe eyeshadows. Kim Kardashian's coming out with yet another palette. It's called the Classic 2. It includes one eyeshadow palette for $45. You're pushing it, and a few lip glosses, which are all in like very nude shades. I love the lip gloss vibes, except I'm not such a huge fan of super opaque nudie lip glosses. I like more of a sheer kind of shimmery kind of a vibe, so I would skip on those. I feel like they would be very goopy. And then that eyeshadow palette is nothing special for $45, and I refuse to pay customs and shipping fees on a palette that I can find somewhere else. Drunk Elephant's coming out with a micellar milk water thing. So it's like a micellar water, but it's like opaque and more milky. Yes, it's called a milky micellar water. Okay, and it's available now apparently. So remove makeup, dirt, pollution, bacteria. Got a pH of 5. No need to rinse. I'm assuming it's more like hydrating. So if you've got like super dry skin, if you apply this and you don't have to rinse it, it will probably leave some kind of a hydrating feeling on your skin. However, I just don't need it. I use the oil that they have, and I use one of the gel cleansers that they have. I find that my skin is clean enough when I leave the shower that I don't need to top up with another micellar water. And I think this would be like £50, and I just can't get myself to spend that much on a micellar water. Then there's this collection. It's Tony Moly and Minions. Is there a new Minions movie coming out that I haven't heard of? Because what? But this collection is a mess. I just don't really like it. I don't think Tony Moly is a kids makeup brand, but this looks like kids makeup. Melt is coming out with a purpley, plummy palette, and from this angle, it looks very purpley, but then when they swatched it, there isn't a lot of purple there. There's more like burgundy and kind of vibes like that, but there's just not a lot of purple. And I know purples are kind of difficult to formulate, so I'll wait for people to try it out on YouTube just so I can see the looks that they're coming out, because I think this looks very dark. I think this could be beautiful on deep skin tones, but with me, I go for very kind of light makeup because I think it just looks a little bit better on my skin tone with my hair and my eyes. And I think out of that palette, I'd be able to use like 3 shades max, like the first 3 shades. And then after that, it just gets very deep, very fast. So I think I'm gonna have to skip out on that one. This is LC Cosmetics for $49. $49 for these 5 shades. I said I want circle pans, but I want circle pans that are all the same size. This is supposed to be like minimalistic makeup, but it makes my eyes hurt. I can't make a cohesive look out of this, and it annoys me. And it's $49. It's supposed to be a Pride related release, but I can't see any talks of proceeds going places. I think it's sometimes like Trendmood will update it later on, so I could have missed the post where they said that they were donating proceeds. It's clearly a Pride related release, but I'm not seeing Pride related donations. So Natasha Denona is coming out with like a bronzy orangey palette, perfect for summer holidays, but there are only I think like 4 or 5 matte shades, which I understand because like shimmers are what's exciting, but I just feel like there is not a lot to build on here. That sounded really weird. I don't know, I feel like if you look at this palette, chances are you already have something very, very similar that you can dupe every single shade with. And as much as like I've been looking for the one Natasha Denona palette that I can like spend my money on without feeling guilty, I just have not found it yet, which is really a shame. And I'm starting to see a lot of videos saying that Natasha Denona formulas are kind of overrated, so I don't know. She's also coming out with this face palette, and I'm angry once again. So look at the difference, stark difference. This is a bronze cheek, hold on. It's a face glow palette, which would insinuate that, I mean, they're all shimmery shades, so they're all highlighters, right? Like, let's, you know. But it says keeping your skin bronzed, blushed, and highlighted. Where is the blush? Where's the bronzer? The highlighter is not a bronzer, it's a highlighter. It can be used on cheeks, eyes, and lips for an all-around sun-kissed glow. It's $55. Let's look at the difference between top left and bottom left. Those are 2 completely different people. Make up your mind, Natasha Denona is either light shades, dark shades. Let's have separate palettes. Let's do 2 palettes, you know, one like light, one dark. And that will be it for today. If you enjoyed me rambling and talking and venting about the makeup releases that I will not be buying, I'm not even like slightly about any of them. Like usually I'm like, guys, please tell me that I should, like, I don't need this, I shouldn't buy it. But this time I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting it, and that's down that. So if there are any products that you guys are not buying and any of these products that you are buying or that you agree with me on, leave a comment. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, anything, comment down below, and subscribe because I post videos every time I think of something. I haven't been posting in the last like 2 weeks because my life has been in shambles, but I'm back and just enjoying myself again. So yeah, hit that bell to be notified when that's happening. Social media links in description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.